Let's talk about Maricopa, though, fam, because nobody's talking about Arizona.
Nobody is literally talking about this, guys, except that
Us.
radio show.
Yes,
and
in
us.
Arizona. The locals.
Yeah.
The locals and us. That's it. Nobody in the mainstream, nobody in the independent tip. Nobody's talking about this, so we need you guys to talk about this stuff. Spread the news, because there's a lot of interesting things going on. I don't know if they're waiting for help from the federal government, fam. If that bill passes eventually, maybe the federal government can go in there and try to do something, but I doubt. It's a past election. We have a state senate that has a hard-on for a real audit, a third-party independent audit. They know they've never seen one of these. They want one. They want to open up the books. They want to check the work. They are currently blocking it right now. But let's get into this right now and talk about, let's give a little up-to-date about what happened and where we're at with this one. Okay, so the Maricopa County, Arizona. Is it or is it not an audit? Arizona audit. We last left off with a lone state senator flipping his vote to hold the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors in contempt, essentially allowing, only for the time being, the board to avoid an independent audit in which the Senate was seeking. Oh, that was my Darth Vader voice.
You have to go overact on this, Sam. Come on.
However, even though things may have stalled in the Senate, the Libertarian Party has now seen their day in court, as they claim not only was it not an audit, the audit was not an audit, but their party had every right to be in the room while it was conducted. And since the lone senator flipped, the people of Maricopa County have gone recall crazy and are now gathering signatures to boot out not only the 5 members of the board, but the Secretary of State, the Superintendent, and Governor Ducey as well. P.S. Die, rebel scum. I just wanted to do that, really. That was like my Star Wars thing. But pretty much
we are. The empire is crumbling. By the way, this is not going to be able to happen as easily if that For the People Act passes.
Yeah.
Because it will give more power to Congress, who and the federal government, obviously, than the states. So,
well, here's the thing: what they have to do. If, in fact, and a lot of people say, why don't they want this audit? They're hiding something. 22 months, right? That's the federal law. 22 months, the material has to be held on for. That means ballot images, ballots, any envelopes they took mail-in ballots out of. They have to keep all this stuff for 22 months. Unless, of course, you're Brenda Snipes and you can destroy it and get away with it. So Ron DeSantis came in and said, give me your resignation because you're out of here. But other than that, they got to run out the clock, fam. So I think if that congressional bill does get passed, they're going to try to say, well, they don't have to do this anymore. They'll go back to the courts and say this was a previous election before the bill came out. They'll stall, and try to get past the 22 months and get rid of everything. I think that's the plan. But the people of Arizona they're pushing hard, right? And let's be honest now. The Maricopa County officials have said, the election officials, that this is an audit. And if you look at their Facebook right here, you'll see it right there. The second one, let's hope they didn't take anything down. The second one, it says the first auditing firm returned to Maricopa County. The next one, and you can see people, day 5 of the second independent auditors completing checking. It's all over their Facebook. Audit. And even the next article I have up over here, fam. Oh, shit. See, they're taking shit down, right? Maricopa County, the Board of Supervisors approves an extensive audit of election equipment. So they've been flossing, telling the people, listen, what's wrong with your state senate? We had these audits, fam. We've been doing these audits. Tell them to get off our back. It's sufficient enough. We've already proved that, I got to get back on the YouTube eventually. I just turned it off. There it is. They've had all these audits. They don't need another audit. Tell the Senate to just shut up. So now the Libertarian Party, as we know, had gotten their day in court and said, hey, listen, we want to make sure that we were in the room. If there's any type of procedural things going on, audit. So this is out of the Arizona Independent News Network, and there's a little video in here, and this is interesting because this is almost the exact situation, ladies and gentlemen, that happened in Florida. If you don't remember the Bruce Spiva situation, the Democratic lawyers in Florida, when Bernie Sanders supporters, not Bernie Sanders himself, supporters sued, saying that the Democratic Party didn't abide by their charter and bent the rules, and therefore they wanted their money back and they wanted them to be held accountable. Well, what Bruce Spiva said in that courtroom is, says, well, technically, the Democratic Party can go in the back room, fill with cigar smoke, and pick whoever they want. Technically, They were right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was up to a judgment call. Does the judge want to say they have to abide by their charters? But technically, by their rules, it was a corporation and they can do what they want. So not on standing, shut down the case, move on. This almost the same exact thing happened here in Arizona, fam. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors says it's an audit, it's an audit, it's an audit, it's an audit. The state Senate says, no, it's not an audit. It's a logic and accuracy test, which me and Johnny saw yesterday in L.A. Funny story. So they were gaslighting the people, but it says, when is an audit of an election, not an election audit? And this is so great for him because pretty much the Maricopa County lawyer was late. He showed up in a jumpsuit. He didn't say, I'm not a cat, but he showed up late. He acted like he didn't know. He acted like he didn't know they had the case, that he was just told early, just wasn't told in time, but he was served. He was summoned. And you got to listen to what he says right here, what now and stuff. Remember now, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has been saying all over their Facebook, been telling the people of Maricopa, the second largest county in the United States behind the United States, almost 3 million votes, that they've been giving an audit. Look what the lawyer says to the case where the Libertarian Party says we deserve to be in the room. Go ahead.
You may have heard we're involved in litigation with the Senate right now that is very fast-paced, and Mr. Kilsky, I simply have not had the time to make the phone call to you. Again, I didn't realize there was this hearing today. You're on my list. But we dispute the premise of Mr. Kilsky and the Libertarian Party's complaint that an audit of an election is occurring that would be subject to the laws that Mr. Kilsky has cited. And I can explain now to the court, or I can explain offline to Mr. Kilsky why we dispute that premise.
There you go.
But I wanted to be noted, I guess, we don't agree with the underlying facts. We think that there are some facts in the dispute. Nevertheless, we do think that the court can decide this as a matter of law. We don't believe that those disputed facts will really preclude the court from...
Pretty much he said we dispute the fact that an audit is taking place.
Right.
So they're trying to say that it's not an audit and that the
Right.
Libertarian Party had no right to be there.
Right.
Pause it.
Yes.
If I'm understanding this correctly.
Yeah.
The deputy county attorney, the public counsel for the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors.
Yes.
The lawyer
Yes.
who represents Maricopa County.
Yes. The Board of
says
Supervisors.
that Wednesday told him the judge Wednesday that the county's much touted audit is actually not really an election audit.
Yes.
So on Facebook, they've been calling it an audit.
Yes.
They've been showing this video saying, "Oh, look, yeah, second independent audit at Maricopa Maricopa vote," and then the lawyer just said that it wasn't an audit.
Bingo.
They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, but they're stupid because by saying it's not they're trying to say that the libertarians can't do this because it's not an audit. But by saying that it's not an audit, you're admitting that this is a fugazi process and it's not a fucking audit, and you need to do a real audit. You can't have it both ways. It's ridiculous.
They're gonna.
We live in a fucking cartoon. We need Steve's voice ingrained into the thing so we can play. We live in a fucking cartoon. Can you do this, Steve?
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, we live in a cartoon. And if I had an opportunity, I'd smack this lawyer right across the face with a giant mackerel. And then I would smack Tom Hartman's Padawan across the face, who's trying to be the first male host on The View. But anyways, that's my Steve. But listen, fam, I mean, Johnny, come on now. This is
crazy.
comical shit right now.
Yeah.
Here comes the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, right? Now, we played a lot of videos on the last subject when we were talking about, we gave you the run up to what's happening. Pretty much the state Senate's been like, no, we want a third party independent audit. They've been telling the Board of Supervisors, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, that your audits are really not an audit. It's a logic and accuracy test. They've been gaslighting the people, telling everybody everywhere that, oh, no, we've been doing audits left and right. We even had a reporter come after and attack me that she now wants us to pay for her article. Not happening. From the Arizona Central, whatever she writes from, whatever. There's people out there, you have the little Democratic minions carrying water for the Democratic Party.
She wrote that whole article trying to boost the audits.
Yep.
And it's not a fucking audit.
The lawyer just said it was
Come at me, bro. Come at us. Come on.
Oh
We'll fight ya. Literally, this is crazy.
Okay. So this is crazy. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get this case thrown out, right? and they're trying to really avoid having an audit. And the fact is that they're going to try to move the goalpost and says, well, this is an audit, but it's not the official type of audit we have to have that, makes it that they have to be in the room, because different states have different law when it comes to oversight. Believe it or not, California's oversight is supposed to be deemed on the people, right? Florida is one of those states, and a lot of states in the East Coast, when it's up to the candidates if they want to protest. In Arizona, the oversight is kind of kicked to the parties, meaning that all parties have to be in the room, Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian Party. The Green Party hasn't been recognized there, unfortunately. What's up, Howie Hawkins? So therefore, they don't have to be in the room. But those three major parties that are registered with the state have to be in the room when there's any type of audit, any type of moving of the material, any type of going into the machines whatsoever. It's kind of like we went through the other day. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you have to have oversight over here. But once again, in California, it's on the people. So it's up to us to show up. Arizona, parties. And that's something important to remember. But this story gets a little bit juicier, fam, before we just get on out of this story right now. We have a little video because here's the thing. The state Senate was like, you know what? We're done playing games. I'm not going to subpoena the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. We're going to go to the state secretary treasurer, and we're going to get them right from them. So they go over to the state secretary treasurer, and guess what? They never handed over the ballots. They kept the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors.
That's part of the law. They're supposed to turn the ballots over to the treasurer.
Boom!
Arizona law.
You hear it?
Arizona code.
Election's over. Turned on over to the treasury. So they're even avoiding that. Check out this one really video, and then we'll get you out of the subject, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on, because we don't know where we're going to go from here if the if the case gets tossed out. But now they're having they're going into this like a fine little details right now, tooth comb, and they're pulling up everything right now until they get this audit. They're being relentless. They're still getting signatures to recall all these people. So take a look at this last part right here.
Why are the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors not in jail? The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors is required by law to hand the ballots over to the county's treasurer after the election is canvassed. This is the law. Yet, this reportedly has not happened.
Because statute states this: as soon as the election is canvassed and certified, everything's supposed to be sealed, it's supposed to go in their vault, and the county treasurer is supposed to sign for that because he's the custodian. Well, the county supervisors never turned it over to the treasurer. Why? Because they said there's ongoing litigation. Well, the new treasurer hasn't taken custody of it either, because they're saying we need to hold on to this because of ongoing litigation or an audit. The county supervisors have the control of this. They've never even turned it over to the treasurer. And by the way, that's a violation of the election procedural manual, and that's a class 2 misdemeanor.
There's a requirement in Arizona law that the ballots themselves are to be placed in the custody of the state treasurer after the canvassing of the ballot, so the official sign off on the ballot. That never happened. The state treasurer has been subpoenaed also to produce the ballots. He basically told the Senate, look, I'd love to comply. I don't have them yet. They haven't been sent to me. That's class 2 misdemeanor.
The people in Arizona are waking up to the shenanigans being pulled by the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. Maybe that's the reason why, on February 11th, an emergency meeting was held by the board. Minutes from the meeting state, Andrea Cummings stated that the emergency was due to the need for the board to receive legal advice with the treasurer and the recorder regarding recent and ongoing events in the legislature related to the elections and potential legal ramifications. The problem for the Board of Supervisors is that they are currently breaking the law. The law states after the county canvass is complete, the officer in charge of elections must seal the voted ballots and deliver them and official returns to the county treasurer or a secure facility contracted by the treasurer. If voting equipment produces digital ballot images, the digital ballot images must be retained and preserved in the same manner.
This is something that needs to be looked at, and I think the Attorney General's office needs to look at this, because it's basically a crime scene now. We know it is.
Back in January, the former Maricopa County Treasurer resigned, citing a toxic environment in county government. Flora was set to leave office in mid-January, but said he was unable to complete his term, in part because, quote, the political environment at the county has become so toxic I have no desire to endure further abuse. Flora also said in his letter he intends to participate in the recall of the supervisors. The ballots from this county should have been handed over to the treasurer weeks ago. What is going on?
What the actual fudge? You see, Mom, it's the way they language nowadays. It's just a different time. You know what I'm saying, Ma? Sorry. But what the hell is going on in Maricopa? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, we always talk about this. We're not trying to be the Cracker Jack case. We've busted the case open. We caught you. We're trying to fix our elections moving forward. I think this is going to be a great blueprint on the things that we need to continue to look at and make sure these things are followed. And that won't only happen in Arizona. It's going to happen in other states because we, the people, need to look into this stuff. What's going on over here is pretty disgusting. They're stopping an audit. The state Senate wants this audit on behalf of the people who are saying, listen, we don't care if Donald Trump won or Joe Biden won. We just want it to be fair. We want to know what's what. They want to see it. And we never get these things. The whole object from the legislation, I think, who could be the ones who are, moving the needle in their favor, is to get the stuff through the machines, seal up all your ballots and information, and put it away. I just want to point out, too, as well, fam, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has flipped 3 times. They said, we can't give you the ballots against law. And then the state Senate pointed out, it's like, we're not asking for the actual physical ballots. We're asking for the ballot images, which is legal. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll give you the ballots. And say, okay, where's our ballots? Oh, we're not giving you the ballots now. They've gone back and forth and back and forth. And I know this is like nothing to when Jonny talks about this stuff because he's worked with this case with Raji. It's just constantly stall tactics, moving the goalposts, not letting people in to see what's what. That's what's going on now. That's how our elections are set up, and this is something we need to fight.
Absolutely, fam. I'm with you.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. No. I mean, we've said everything there is to say. I mean, this is ridiculous. Guys, we're the only ones covering this. This is... Yeah. And we're going to stay on top of this. Brandon Slayton, who is the chairman of the Libertarian Party, I reached out to him to speak to him. John Brakey, who's been uncovering this case, helping out the Libertarian Party, helping out some of the Republicans get on, because I think it's called an amicus brief, where the Libertarians were suing for the right to be in there, and the Republicans jumped on. They even reached out to the Democratic Party of Arizona and Maricopa, and they said no. They're like, we'll take a pass. Of course not team players, but everybody's getting involved in this. The pressure is on. So we're going to keep our eyes on Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, and give you up-to-dates to see what's happening. Like we said, nobody's really covering this outside the people in Arizona, where you get a little local channel, little radio channels, and that one dude you saw in that video right there, Prescott News. That's it. Otherwise, people are just kind of avoiding this and not going into it.